How to do, everyone? Welcome back to another buttered croissant. I'm your host today, and I'm going to be going over top 3 tips for you to go for those crazy high rounds on Call of Duty Zombies that you have been so desperately craving to get to. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So my number 1 tip is play an easy map. So picking an easy map is really important because it allows you to focus less on navigating the map safely, but rather focusing on your strategy and getting a feel for how high rounds are usually played out. So I made a small list here of some maps that are great options for beginner high round players. So for World at War, you have Shinonuma. For Black Ops 1, you have Ascension. For Black Ops 2, you have Origins. For Black Ops 3, you have Revelations. Black Ops 4 would be 9. And lastly, with Cold War, D Machine. Now, some of the reason for picking these maps is just because some of them are very simple, such as Ascension. There's not really a lot of setup involved on the map, and there's a lot of great open areas for you to train zombies and start understanding how high rounds work and getting a feel for them. My personal best pick is either D Machine or again Ascension. So once you have a map, just stick to it and practice it. Tip 2, strategy. A big part of getting high rounds is to research strategies for whatever map you're playing. So over the years, many maps have specific strategies that have been developed and optimized to take advantage of map elements and provide the player with the best way to get to the high rounds. So for example, a couple months ago, I wanted to get to Shadows of Evil round 100. Now the strategy that I was running was training outside the Ruby Rabbit in that little area near the buildable bench. Now it was working out, but I soon realized that this strategy is way too slow and it would take unrealistic amounts of time to get to round 100. I took it to YouTube and I started researching Shadows of Evil strategies, and I came across the infamous waterfront strategy. I tried it out and I started practicing it, and I instantly noticed results just because I employed a widely accepted and proven community strategy. So pick a strategy, research it, practice it, and go with it. And the final tip number 3, is practice. So practice makes perfect. It's unrealistic expectation to set that you're just gonna go to the round that you want right away, right after you pick your strategy without any practice. Because a lot of these strategies, sometimes some of them require a lot of mechanical skill. So my advice is practice your strategy as much as you can in order to get as consistent as possible and also increase your endurance, as high rounds are actually a bit of a slog fest. Because rounds progress so much slower on high rounds, depending on your strategy and map, of course, but generally they are slower than, say, the first 30 rounds that you play. Performing at a high level consistently over a long period of time is very important and paramount to your success in getting those high rounds. So practice as much as you can, and I'm sure it's going to make a big difference. So that's all there is, ladies and gentlemen. I know this is a pretty short video, but most of these tips are pretty straightforward. But what's nice about this is that for high rounds, it's different for everyone. So some people would want to get around 100, while some people are just trying to get to round 15. And there's nothing wrong with it. But I assure you, these 3 tips, take them and apply them to your gameplay, and you're going to see results pretty shortly. And yeah, so that's all there is. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Leave a comment why, and I'll make sure to get back to you. But that's all for now, and I'll see you guys on round 255.